Wow. What a Monday Night Football game between Seattle and Washington. Seattle, Washington. That's funny. That's funny. But, seriously, it was a very, very good game. Washington pulling off that upset against the Seattle Seahawks. By the way, the audio here is kind of messing up. That's okay, though. That's okay. We don't need intro music. We're good. We're good. Well, my name is Hassan Khan, the host of this channel that we like to call Time2Football. Glad you guys are joining us on this wonderful, wonderful Tuesday, last day of November, as we turn the page on November, as we also turn the page on Week 12, and we look forward to Week 13. Glad you guys are joining us for this episode. You guys can join us in the chat as we are following along here. You guys are already saying good morning, Zobu. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning from Montreal, as always. It's always a pleasure to have you joining in with us. Kicks plug. Smash that like button. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. JR Seda, I'm getting used to watching your live after the fantasy football week ends. Playoffs around the corner. Yes. For you guys that play fantasy football, this is the big time. This is where everything matters. So, those videos I come out with, like the ads, the drops, the starts, sits, whatever, you're going to start to see some, some names, some big names being mentioned because you got to start getting serious about your team. Like you wanted, hey, Allen Robinson, we don't want to let go of him because he's Allen freaking Robinson. But you got to let go of him. You got to let go of him. So, it is around playoffs times, and I'm going to be helping you guys out by answering your questions as well. So continue to leave your comments, and I know that I advertised in that video. Hey, leave your comments in the down below, and we can go ahead and answer your questions. I will go ahead and say, though, that we are going to be answering questions towards the end of the show. What we got planned on this episode is we've got Pro Bowl voting that we're going to be doing live on this channel. So I'm going to be popping up at the NFL.com's website, going to the Pro Bowl voting, and I'm just going to vote for who I think is deserving of going to the Pro Bowl, as well as getting you guys caught up on NFL news and notes. But I also have one thing for you, and that's the question of the day that I started asking not too long ago. But I wanted to ask this question because we're at that point right now where, hey, is this a legitimate, does this make a lot of sense for this team that we should be asking this question? Is Washington a legit Super Bowl playoff contender? Can it happen? I can't tell right now. Is Taylor Heineke's head cut off? It doesn't seem like it. Seems like we're good. Okay. They are 3-0 after their bye week. Something switched, something flipped. I think they went into the bye week thinking, we've got to turn this team around. Antonio Gibson can't just get 12, 13, 14 carries a game. We got to feed him 29 times. My gosh, 29 times. That's a lot, even for Antonio Gibson. But he took on the role, and J.D. McKissic figured to be a factor in that game as well, scoring 2 touchdowns. But something just flipped with Antonio Gibson, with the Washington football team, Ron Rivera, this defense that has been so bad and just giving up a lot of yards and points per game. Their secondary is just not as good as it used to be. Something flipped. 3-0, and now if the playoffs were to start today, Washington would be the number 7 seed. That's crazy to think. So I ask you guys, is Washington legit? Leave your thoughts and your comments down below in the live chat. We'd love to interact with you guys and hear your opinions. All right. What do we got going on here now? We've got NFL news and notes that we guys get you caught up with throughout the day. And now there's a lot of injuries to cover here with some big names. Unfortunately, you may have heard of this guy, Christian McCaffrey. You may have heard that he's been injured before in the past. He gets hurt, then he comes back. Then he gets hurt, and then he comes back. You know what? I have a video that actually it perfectly describes the situation of Christian McCaffrey And while we get that loaded for you, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about Christian McCaffrey. So he came out of that game early against the Miami Dolphins. Chupa Hubbard came in, Amir Abdullah came in, they factored in. Cool, awesome. But it looks like Christian McCaffrey, what we thought was just like a rolled up ankle or like maybe just a minor ankle injury where you just have to be limited in practice. And people were even saying, I said on yesterday's live show that it doesn't seem that serious for Christian McCaffrey. Like that was the word around the NFL. And then nope, all of a sudden, hey, Panthers, you're screwed. Christian McCaffrey, your best offensive player, is gone for the remainder of the season. That's a huge blow. 5-7 team. The Panthers are fighting for that wild card spot. This is huge. Huge loss for the Carolina Panthers. Christian McCaffrey has been placed on injured reserve, season ending, and it's looking like it's not going to be promising moving forward for Christian McCaffrey. You know, I have a video to perfectly describe the situation with, where he's like on injured reserve, and then he comes back, and then he goes back to injured reserve, then he comes back, then he comes back, then let me just go ahead and play this video, and then I'll get back to you guys.
I wanted to have kids, and you said that you wanted me to have a vasectomy. What did I do? And then, when you said that you might want to have kids, and I wasn't so sure, who had the vasectomy reversed? And then when you said you definitely didn't want to have kids, who had it reversed back? Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. I did. Okay. You have no idea the physical toll the 3 vasectomies have on a person.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. That's the whole situation with Christian McCaffrey. Just a lot of back and forth. And now officially he has been ruled as being on injured reserve for the remainder of the season. Ankle injury, will not be coming back. Dalvin Cook, another big name, torn shoulder, right shoulder or left shoulder? I think it's his right. I might be mistaken, but it's a torn labrum. He will miss at least 2 games. This is per Mike Zimmer. That they want him back at least by December 20th against the Chicago Bears, but it could be a little bit longer than that. Alexander Mattison would be the one to step up and take in that lead role. Hey, Minnesota Vikings fans, you have nothing to worry about. Alexander Mattison, a man that they drafted in the 3rd or 4th round, I believe, could be a potential RB1 in the NFL someday for maybe another NFL team. For now, he's the Minnesota Vikings insurance policy, and they freaking love Alexander Mattison, as we all should. So if you watch that ads and drops videos with fantasy football that came out earlier this morning, I didn't mention Alexander Mattison because I didn't know the status by the time I recorded that video, which was kind of early on Monday. I didn't know the status on Alexander Mattison and Dalvin Cook and everything. But now it's confirmed that Dalvin Cook is going to miss some time. So Alexander Mattison, dude, if he's available in your leagues, that's your top waiver priority ad over any of the other running backs that I mentioned, over any wide receiver, over any tight end. Alexander Mattison is the go-to guy. Darrell Henderson is suffering through a quad injury. He is day-to-day now. So there is a chance that he could be playing, but they're going to be monitoring his status. Sony Michel would be the next man up to take over in the lead role for the LA Rams. In the event that he were to miss any time, Darrell Henderson. Mike McCarthy, he has COVID-19. So this just happened. This actually happened during the live show yesterday. I didn't get the notification or have the chance to see it, so I didn't really mention it. But he has COVID-19, and who's going to be stepping in for the head coach role this Thursday against the New Orleans Saints? It's going to be Dan Quinn, who's going to be leading the charge for the Dallas Cowboys. So you could expect Dan Quinn, who has head coaching experience. Excuse me. I got something in my throat. Who has head coaching experience to take over and lead the Cowboys against the New Orleans Saints. Jack Conklin, very, very talented offensive lineman for the Cleveland Browns. He's been suffering through some injuries this year, and unfortunately, he's going to be out for the remainder of the season. We already talked about the Cleveland Browns yesterday on yesterday's show that their offense is their Achilles heel, that they're going to be the reason why they missed the playoffs, if they do miss the playoffs. And now this isn't going to help their case at all. Jack Conklin, torn patellar tendon, out for the season, will not be coming back to the Cleveland Browns. The Saints are preparing for Taysom Hill to be the starting quarterback against the Dallas Cowboys. That's right. They've had enough of Trevor Siemian. They've seen enough. Even though he's a good second-half quarterback, that game against the Buffalo Bills on Thanksgiving night was enough. Sean Payton ready to put in Taysom Hill. Now, he's going through a foot injury right now, I believe. So they're still waiting on Taysom Hill to kind of fully recover, but it's looking like he should be a good-to-go player to start this Thursday against the Dallas Cowboys. Jalen Hurts is dealing with an ankle injury, so if we want to talk about Russian quarterbacks and injuries to their lower extremities, we've got, and when I talk about lower extremities, I'm talking about, the ankle, the foot, the leg. I'm not talking about the dick and balls. No, I mean, if that's injured, then yeah, Deebo Samuel might have suffered an injury around that area, but for these Russian quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts, Taysom Hill, they're suffering ankle injuries, foot injuries. Jalen Hurts isn't one of them, and now he is unknown. His status is unknown for this week against the New York Jets. We still don't know what's going to be happening. They're going to monitor his status. Nick Sirianni is hopeful that he plays against the New York Jets. However, monitor his status. Kevin Byard, Patrick Peterson, and TJ Watt. 3 big names, 3 big defensive players for their respective teams. Byard for the Titans, Peterson for the Minnesota Vikings, and TJ Watt for the Pittsburgh Steelers have been placed on the COVID-19 list. They are expected to miss this week's game. Fred Warner, hamstring strain, already ruled out by Kyle Shanahan for Week 13. So, I mean, this might just be a 1-week kind of thing, but based off of Kyle Shanahan already calling it quits early, maybe it could be even longer than that. Fred Warner, talented linebacker, actually contract extension, recently got one, and ever since he got the contract extension, hasn't been really living up to the expectations that they had, the 49ers did, so he's been having a little bit of an up-and-down year, but Fred Warner still a big loss for the 49ers for him to suffer that hamstring strain. Darren Waller, knee injury, he is now considered week to week. Waller already, I think it was before the bye week, suffering an injury, ruled out of that game, came back and looked really, really good, was getting the targets, was getting the yards. Now, knee injury. Darren Waller suffering through that. More than likely, if it's week to week, you don't expect him to play this week. Ezekiel Elliott is expected to play this Thursday. I know we reported yesterday that Ezekiel Elliott, there's a chance that he could be missing this week's game because Tony Pollard is going to be coming in, and they want to rest up Ezekiel Elliott because they have, they've been playing Sunday games, short weeks, Thursday, and then another back-to-back Thursday game. So, they need a little bit of rest. Well, Ezekiel Elliott looks like he's going to be playing it and looks like he's going to have a serious workload. It's not looking like that he's going to be limited at all. Zeke is playing. And then lastly, Joey Sly suffered a hamstring injury against Seattle yesterday. And he, unfortunately, will be missing 3 weeks. So we expect him to be placed on injured reserve, maybe even released at this point by the Washington football team, who've been going through so many kickers. You had Dustin Hopkins, your longtime kicker, and it didn't work out, so they released him. Chris Blewett, unfortunate name for a kicker, and unfortunately, his last name kind of sums up how his tenure with Washington went. And then they signed Joey Sly, who's actually been very, very reliable. Suffered a hamstring injury, trying to chase down a blocked kick, and he is expected to miss some time. And that is your NFL news and notes for today. Now we want to get into Pro Bowl voting. What exactly is happening in the NFL? And we're going to get to that. We definitely are. But first, let me go ahead and talk about engineered sleep real quick. So if you guys haven't heard about engineered sleep, we've been advertising them on this channel for this whole entire season. And I often say that, hey, I don't back up anything on this channel unless I believe in it. I actually had an email come into me. I had 2 emails actually come into me in the past 2 weeks talking about potential partnerships, but I had to turn them down just because, one, I signed contracts, so I can't really talk about certain things. But 2, I'm not going to promote anything on this channel that I don't believe in. You know what I'm saying? So engineered sleep is one of those that I do believe in. Let me go ahead and tell you about it. Let's get serious. Did you know that you spend roughly a third of your life in bed? That's a lot of time if you think about it. On average, 6 to 8 hours a night and over 220,000 hours in a lifetime. If you're not getting quality sleep, it has a severe negative impact on everything the next day, whether it's a test, meetings, presentations, or just everyday tasks. You want to be your best no matter what. The sleep experts at Edge of Your Sleep have been at it for over 100 years, and they've cracked the code to getting better sleep. They ask the right questions to get you exactly what you need so you can sleep better. We partnered up with them to get you 10% off. That's up to $250 in savings. It's a lot of money. And 2 free pillows on your next purchase using the promo code T2F. These guys crush it. They have a 5-star Google rating, and all their products are 100% American-made and American-designed. Don't sleep on this offer. Now let's talk about Pro Bowl voting. Who do we got going into the 2022 Hall of Fame? Just kidding. Haha. Pro Bowl. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over my computer to the Pro Bowl voting. And let me go ahead and show you who I am going to be picking for the 2022 NFL Pro Bowl. So let me go ahead and switch this over. There we go. All right. Who do we got? Well, all right. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a gander, why don't we? So I'm going to put myself in the corner up here. You guys are going to follow along. So we've got quarterbacks to select. We've got 6 remaining votes. Who do we vote for at this point? Well, I mean, I think Tom Brady is one. Okay, like you have to vote for Tom Brady. I mean, MVP candidate, you got to vote for him. Who's another guy? I know Carson Wentz has been sneaky good. Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, they have been killing it. I know that it's not, as of late, they've been kind of inconsistent. For now, just for now, I'm going to go ahead and pick Aaron Rodgers. So we got Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford. He's been having a good year despite the 9 interceptions. Justin Herbert as well, despite the 9 interceptions. And then we're going a little bit down. Let's see if there's anyone else that's kind of worthy of it. I would pick Lamar Jackson, but that 4 interception game kind of hurt his status. You know what? Let's do this. I am going to pick Kirk Cousins, believe it or not, who is very, very underrated. And I want to pick Patrick Mahomes. I do. But I'm thinking between... You know what? Let's pick Patrick Mahomes. All right, so the top row. That's simple. So my Pro Bowl quarterbacks would be Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert, Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers. And again, if you disagree with any of this, please leave your comments and your thoughts down below. I would love to chat with you guys and hear your opinions. All right, let's go over to running backs now. Who are the top guys that we want to pick? Okay, we have 6 votes, so who are we picking? Well, obvious choice, Jonathan Taylor. We have to. No doubt about it. Joe Mixon has been killing it. Joe Mixon has been looking very, very good. I'm picking Joe Mixon. Is Deebo Samuel running back? Haha, because I would definitely pick him. Who else? Elijah Mitchell, low-key, is having a good season as well. He is. A lot of these guys are, man. But a lot of these guys missed some time because of injury as well. For instance, Alvin Kamara would be on pace to be a Pro Bowl running back, but has been missing some time. You know what? I am going to go with Nick Chubb. Let's go with him. Antonio Gibson is a little bit on a come-up. I mean, you look at his stats, 712 yards, 5 touchdowns. Has a receiving touchdown as well. I don't think he's on pace for like 11 touchdowns this year. But I'm not going to pick him. Instead, I'm going to pick Najee Harris, who's been very good in the passing game as well. Dalvin Cook, let's go ahead and pick him. And then probably Ezekiel Elliott. I know that Darrell Henderson would be... Runner-ups, I'd say like Darrell Henderson, Leonard Fournette. 7 touchdowns came from just one game, so I'd want to wait and see on that. And then maybe Elijah Mitchell as well. But yeah, those are my Pro Bowl running backs. Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, Dalvin Cook, Najee Harris, and Ezekiel Elliott. I think that's pretty fair. Let me go ahead and pick wide receivers. Cooper Kupp, for sure. Devontae Adams, for sure. Justin Jefferson, for sure. We've got 3 votes left. Deebo Samuel, for sure. Jamar Chase, for sure. So we've got one more now. All right. We've got Chris Godwin has been looking pretty good. Tyreek Hill is, it's not a bad season. Not a bad season at all. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and pick, just because of the 8 touchdowns, I may just pick Tyreek Hill. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So my Pro Bowl wide receivers are Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Deebo Samuel, Jamar Chase, and Tyreek Hill. By the way, I'm surprised they're not letting us choose like NFC, AFC in years past. I know that they kind of switched away from that to do like a whole draft thing where it's like Team Sanders versus Team Rice. Wow, we're going to make the Pro Bowl more interesting. What if we had legends as the team captains? Hear me out. We had legends like Jerry Rice as team captains, and they're drafting their teams. And they go on the field wearing neon and gray. Green and gray. Those are the best colors ever. They're not stupid at all. That guy who does Time2Football, he has green and gray. Yeah, anyways. Let's go to fullbacks. You know what? I don't even have to see this, but I'm going to go with CJ Ham. I usually go for my guy, Alex Arma. I actually grew up in the same neighborhood as him. We rode the bus together in middle school. Wolf Creek, shout out, Tequila, Georgia. So I like Alex Arma. I do, and I vote for him whenever he was on the Carolina Panthers, blocking for Christian McCaffrey. Good fullback, has a touchdown this year. But CJ Ham is just being utilized as like in so many different ways. I got to go with him. I mean, Kyle Juszczyk, yeah, sure. Patrick Ricard, too. He's really good, too. I'm sticking with CJ Ham. Let's go with tight ends. And by the way, this is just taking a lot of time. I'm not going to go ahead and do every single position. I'm just going to go ahead and do maybe just the offense. Let me refresh that because something's going on. Did that get rid of my votes? No, my votes are still there. Come on, where you at? Why is this taking so long? Tight ends. Why can I not vote for the tight ends? All right, I mean, I guess... What? No more? Are we done? Why is this not loading? Oh, this is live, brother. This is live. Mistakes are going to happen live. Fullback, tight end. Oh, gosh. Why is this not loading? Is it my internet? Can't be. All right, well, I guess it's... Sorry, guys. I wanted to continue to vote, but looks like it's not letting me do that. So let me go ahead and just review it, I guess. Okay, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, fullbacks. That's all we can vote for. So let's go ahead and review this. We got quarterbacks. We got Brady, Rodgers, Stafford, Herbert, Cousins, and Mahomes. Cool. Running backs, we got Jonathan Taylor, Mixon, Chubb, Najee Harris, Dalvin Cook, Ezekiel Elliott. Okay. Wide receivers, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Deebo Samuel, and Tyreek Hill, of course. And then fullback CJ Ham. That's kind of lame that it's not letting me vote. Let me go back. Refresh this one more time. Come on, dog. All right, there it is. Okay, all right. Wow, that just took up a lot of time. That's okay. All right, tight ends. We got 6 to vote for. All right, we got to go with Mark Andrews. I think statistically, he's probably been one of, if not the best tight end this season, as well as Travis Kelce, who is very good every year. Now, he's not living up to Travis Kelce expectations this year, but still, very good tight end. Gesicki has been looking good as well, and that's my boy. I love Mike Gesicki, so I can vote for 4 actually, or 4 more. So let's go ahead and throw in Gesicki in there. George Kittle's just been way too hurt for me to really put him in. TJ Hawkinson just has been so inconsistent. I like him as a talent, but he's just got to get in a better offense. Let me go ahead and say, just because of the yards aspect, I'm going to vote for Kyle Pitts. Darren Waller has been hurt as well, but he's still kind of up there in yardage and receptions. You know what? I would pick TJ Hawkinson just because of receptions. They have the same amount of touchdowns as well as Darren Waller. Who do I got? One more. Okay, it's between Waller, Goddard. I guess I got to go with Hunter Henry. Guess I got to go with that. Yeah, Gronk, he would have been on pace. Ooh, Dawson Knox as well. Pat Fryermuth. Oh, man. Forgot about these guys. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm going to take TJ Hawkinson off the list. I'm going to put in Fryermuth with 6 touchdowns. I want to put in one more for Dawson Knox because he has 5 touchdowns. Should I take Kyle Pitts or Mike Gesicki off for Dawson Knox? You know what? I think Kyle Pitts is going to get a lot of votes just because he's the fan favorite and everybody knows about him. So let me go ahead and take him off and give the love to Dawson Knox. Let me go ahead and do that. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but yeah, I mean, that's it. We've got offensive linemen. So I don't know if I want to take up your time with offensive linemen. Like, I am more than happy to vote for them. Where is Jordan Mailata? Yeah, like there's a lot of guys that I would vote for, like Jordan Mailata and Quentin Nelson as well for guards. Corey Lindsey has actually for center hasn't been too bad either. So yeah, but I'm not going to take up your time because I know a lot of people don't really care for that. Let me just skip around a little bit more. For defense, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, he's probably an outside linebacker, right? Okay. We got Nick Bosa as well. Trey Hendrickson should have been a Pro Bowler last year. He was snubbed. So I'm going to vote for him again this year. 10.5 sacks. Like, you can't go wrong with that. Man, a lot of these guys are having some low-key pretty good seasons. Yannick Ngakoue, low-key, is having a good season, even though his stats are not showing it. Cam Jordan as well. But I'm not going to vote on all 3 of them or take up all these votes or take up too much time because I'm already kind of running a little bit late. But, special teams, let me just go ahead and pick this just because, nobody cares about kickers, but I care about kickers. So I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, you can choose 6 kickers? Really? All right. Where's my boy, Evan McPherson? Money Mac. That's his new nickname. I'm choosing him. Wouldn't be my first choice. My first choice would actually be Nick Folk because he's been low-key good. Justin Tucker as well. I mean, like, record. I almost said world record. I guess it is a world record. NFL record as well. Daniel Carlson has been very, very good as well. Chris Boswell killing it. Greg Joseph killing it as well. And Matt Gay. Ooh, I can't pick Matt Gay, but yeah, I mean, I'm just skipping around here a little bit, but let me go ahead and just say review selections just because I am running out of time and just submit what I've got. But all these guys I think are deserving of going to the Pro Bowl. If you agree, disagree, leave your thoughts in your comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on everything. So let me go ahead and submit that. You had to log in. Okay, I'll do that later. But that's my Pro Bowl voting. So, again, whoever you think should be on there, did I mess up on anyone? Like, did I snub anyone? Like, let me know your thoughts down below. Why is Jonathan Taylor's head cut off? What is going on here? My homie. My dude. What's up with your head? Why you cut off? Pallets. Mask. No mask. All right, whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay, anyways. Yeah, that's your Pro Bowl voting. So leave your thoughts in your comments down below. And we can go ahead and agree or disagree. Now let's talk about viewer questions that you guys are leaving in the chat. This is the segment where we talk about that. And I'm going to go ahead and spend a few minutes just answering some questions that you guys are leaving. So let me go ahead and answer some questions for you guys. What do we got here? Adam, good morning from a public school in Michigan. Ooh. How hype is it over there with that win over Ohio State? And it's a very specific comment as well, like a public school in Michigan. Shouldn't you be teaching? I don't know. Hey, kids nowadays. So when I went to school, man, I sound like an old head now. Old head. Which wasn't that long ago that I've been out of high school, like 10 years. They had, they didn't have computers, laptops, anything. Now all the classrooms, at least here in Georgia, have computers. And so you just say, all right, go to this website, go do your work, which is freaking awesome. I love that. Wish I had that. Adrian, how do you feel about DK Metcalf? I needed 3 points to win, and he only put up 2.5. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That sucks, man. Because you're going into that game and you're like, oh, I got this, man. I got this. I lost my game by half a point. This is his 4th game in a row with under 10 points. Love your vids, by the way. Adrian, man, I would tell you, keep your head up. I know it's kind of disappointing, but I mean, for most people, trade deadlines have passed. I know for our league, our trade deadline is tomorrow. So if you're looking to shop DK Metcalf, sure, but his value is just extremely low. And since the trade deadline's coming up and it's just a little bit too late at this point, best bet is just to ride with him. Now, my hope is that the Seahawks can turn things around and be like, listen, we got to get DK Metcalf more involved. Like, what was that? Like, game script? I don't know. Like, in the heat of the moment, you're not even thinking about that. You're just thinking about winning the game. Like, the defense of Washington is doing really well. How do I beat that? So that's what's going on in the head of Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks. But DK Metcalf, like, it's not going to be an everyday thing or every week thing where he puts up 2.5 points. And it's okay. I know it sucks. I understand. But you can't really do anything at this point. Like, you got to just ride with DK Metcalf. Bobby saying, good morning. How you doing? Do you think it is a good idea to drop Collins or better stash him on the bench? If you're in like a 14-team league, sure, stash him. 12-team or more or less, I mean, you could get rid of him. I predicted in our Prize Picks video that he was going to rush for less than 44 yards, which isn't a lot of yards. But I predicted that he would, and I was actually very, very, very surprised that it wasn't even close to that. So Alex Collins is someone that I would try to get rid of if I can. Zach Ertz or Logan Thomas? Full PPR, kicks plug. I have not had a chance to work on my starts and sits yet, so I cannot give you a logical answer on that. Drop Heineke for Garoppolo. Dan is. They're both ads for me, and if I had to choose one or the other, I mean, Garoppolo's in a better offense, so that might be best. But however, Heineke has a very good schedule coming up, especially this week against Las Vegas. I know I said that against the Seattle Seahawks, but the Seahawks defense has been looking good as well. I would keep Heineke at least for this week. Hello, guys. Hello, Miguel. How you doing? Maddie16 saying, all right, asking your questions. Getting right into it. Good morning, dude. How you doing? Do you care about me? Or am I some guru that's going to answer your question? Pick one. Half PPO. Quarterback, 2 flex, super flex, quarterback, pick 1, start 2, trade, look at my roster, 4 screenshot of waiver wire. Who should I add off waivers? Oh no, that last one was a question, so I answer questions. But you're asking questions as well. I have not had a chance to look at the starts and sits, like the schedule. I haven't made that list just yet. So I can't give you an answer on certain six questions just now. SB asking, is Kamara out? More than likely, yes. It's a short week. We don't know for sure, but more than likely, he's going to be out. David, I was offered a trade. Should I trade Kamara for Saquon and Montgomery? My other backs are Ingram, Javonte Williams, and Swift. Okay, so you got a pretty good... Javonte Williams might be on a little bit of a come-up after his performance. Still was out-touched by Melvin Gordon, but that's okay. That's okay. Should I trade Kamara for Saquon and Montgomery? No. Don't do it, dude. Don't do it. Because you could have... Okay, so we're at the point now where depth was important in your roster because you just don't know what's going to happen with injuries and things like that. So depth was very important where you just needed like 2-for-1 trades and everything. Now, when it gets closer and closer and closer to the fantasy football playoffs, you're going all out on trying to win a championship. So you want the best possible players. With that said, my 2 running backs, I'd rather have it be Alvin Kamara and DeAndre Swift than DeAndre Swift and Am I starting David Montgomery this week? Am I starting Saquon Barkley? Like, am I flexing one or the other? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you're perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine playing Kamara and Swift when Kamara gets healthy. This week might be a little bit rough for you, but when Kamara gets healthy, you're perfectly fine playing him, DeAndre Swift, and then in your flex playing Javonte Williams if you wanted to. Like, you're fine. You're fine. And with the schedule that Javonte Williams has, he would be a great flex player for the remainder of the season. Your boy Carr. I like that trade, David, especially if Hill takes over at QB. Oh, okay. Oh. Ooh. Forget what I just said. Forget what I said. Marvin, good morning. Good morning. Alex, need a replacement for Waller. Nothing really on the waiver wire. Good chance of making the playoffs. You could go for the route of, so Logan Thomas is not available. I know people dropped him when he was injured. Logan Thomas, Pat Fryermuth is probably owned a little bit more leagues. Tyler Conklin, I'm not too high on him, but like, if he's the best available, go with the best available. You've also got, yeah. It sucks. Evan Ingram, maybe? And he's not really producing, but he's getting the targets, so it could turn into a touchdown. So there are a little bit of options out there, not just much. It's kind of bad out there. Kicks Plug, cool. I'll be on you looking out for your start and set video. Yes. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Be on the lookout for that. Hey, Hassan. Gabriel Birchner. By the way, Hassan Haskins, I heard about him like earlier this season. I was like, oh, this cool. This running back has I don't really watch college football. I more so keep up with like players than I do with teams because I want to know who's going to the NFL and stuff like that. So like I heard about Hassan Haskins on Michigan, and I was like, oh, that's cool. He has the same name as me. And then he did really well in that game against Ohio State. And I was like, wow, he's making my team or my name sound amazing. Because all the kids used to make fun of it in school. All the kids used to make fun of it. You know, they say like, oh, you have ass in your name. Yeah, that's funny, Cassie. But yeah, Hassan Haskins. Not a lot of people out there with the name Hassan. I own Ezekiel Elliott, but Carlson is also available. Who would you rank higher? Oh, Jake Elliott. Who would you rank higher remainder of the season? Thanks. Reliability, Daniel Carlson. Jake Elliott's on a little bit of a stretch where he's just killing it. He's killing it. Now, 3 of his last 5 games have been absolute monster performances for a kicker. So you could lean into that towards that. And this week as well, against the New York Jets, sure. But, however, there's a good chance that someone else is going to pick up Daniel Carlson after his 21-point performance. So I would go ahead and lean in towards him because Jake Elliott has a bye in Week 14. So you're going to play him against the New York Jets? Oh, awesome. He gave me 11 points. Cool. I needed that. Oh, now I need another kicker. Let me drop some. Oh, no one else is available. Although you could do this kind of scenario because Randy Bullock is on a bye week and he's not been looking that great as of late. So you could be like, oh, I start Jake Elliott and then I drop him and pick up Randy Bullock the following week and have him for the remainder of the season. But if it was up to me, I would say Daniel Carlson. Like, he's going to get field goal attempts no matter what. That's just how the Raiders operate. They hardly get into the end zone. They sometimes do, but they're more of like a high yardage offense than like a high scoring offense. So they're going to get to field goal range often and give the reins to Daniel Carlson. Always good content, bro. Thanks, fam. Lance. No, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your comment, by the way. Hey, Jeff Fields, where you at? Where's your daily like? You always tune into this chat. I don't know where you at. It's okay. What's good, G? Should I start the Eagles defense or Dolphins this week? I started the Eagles over Dolphins, and it lost me the week. Dolphins. Why'd I say that? The Dolphins defense looks good. I have not had a chance to look at the schedule 100%. I think the Dolphins play the Giants, if I'm not mistaken, which would be a good stream. The Eagles play the Jets, which would also be a good stream. So I didn't do a lot of research yet. I mean, so based off the top of my head, I'm leaning towards Dolphins just because they've been looking good like the last 4 games. But, I mean, that's just initial. Like, I think both are going to be starts. But when I do a little bit more research, I can give you a more clear answer on that. Mike, Gerald Everett is a nice tight end that's not owned everywhere. Okay, yeah. So with my fantasy rankings that I come out with preseason, there are a lot of things that I get correct. And I'm not saying this to like brag or anything, but um, I just do research. I just look at stats. I look at trends. I don't come in there with bias because they're like, oh, I think that Javonte Williams is going to pass Melvin Gordon as the number one back. I think that's going to happen. And then the Rock comes out of nowhere, goes like, it doesn't matter what you think. Because it's all speculation, right? I don't do that. I listen to offseason reports, and offseason reports were saying like, okay, Melvin Gordon is going to be the better running back. He's going to get all the carries. He's going to get like the volume. Like Javonte Williams is just going to be complimentary back. Like he's going to get his work in, but Melvin Gordon's going to be. And I ranked Melvin Gordon higher than Javonte Williams. Everybody else picked Javonte Williams over Melvin Gordon. Okay. Anyways, I bring that up because with what you said about Gerald Everett, there are some things that I call correctly, like that kind of situation, but then there are also some things that I call incorrectly. Gerald Everett was one of those guys. I had him as initially I had him as a top 10 tight end. Like it was number 10, and then he dropped, I think, to like number 12 or something like that over the course of the preseason. But I thought he was going to be like a top 12 tight end. And now it's starting to seem like, okay, maybe Russell Wilson wants to target him a little bit more. Had a touchdown, yeah, and it's not the reliable volume that you would want out of a tight end. But the signs of what I expected to see out of Gerald Everett going into the season is starting to come about. And he could be a very good tight end the rest of the way. So he could be a good tight end you could stash and just see what happens. Hardly owned anywhere. Like I think Gerald Everett is a very nice stream for certain games. And other than that, I mean, you guys don't have any more questions. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off if there's not one more. I guess I'll hang out for 30 more seconds if there is another one. If not, let me go ahead and sign off. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys joining into this episode of Time to Football. I know we had a little bit of a technical difficulty with a lot of the music not working, and I don't know what's up with that. The Pro Bowl, the internet wouldn't load. It's embarrassing. But yeah, we appreciate you guys tuning into this episode of Time to Football, and very, very, very grateful that you guys are tuning in every single day because. Hey, man, you guys are the bread and butter. You guys are the blood. You guys are the lifeline of this channel. Without you, what would have happened? With all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, I think